Hi everybody, Bob Byrne with Volunteer Mold and Indoor Air Quality here today, taking a look at a crawl space and a crawl space remediation. You can see behind me here is the access to this crawl space. Not all the doors to crawl spaces are quite as generous, some are quite a bit smaller, but today my crew and I are going to be doing a complete remediation in this crawl space that has mold issues. So let's take a look at some of the equipment and our process in doing a proper crawl space remediation. In the crawl space, this one is a kind of unusually high, but we're going to take a look at some of the issues in terms of microbial growths. We're going to take a look at some of the issues as far as microbial growths. You can see mold growing on these joists. This is potentially a wood destroying organism. Walking back into the crawl space here, we see things like exposed gravel, not a good thing. We want to see a complete vapor barrier, which this barrier is pulled to the side, and obviously there's organic material in here. Also never a good idea. We've got a straw bale there and cardboard boxes. All this stuff accumulates moisture and will grow molds or funguses on those surfaces. Walking towards the back on the foundation wall, we can see some efflorescence. That's that white material that is on the block. That's salts that it remain once the moisture coming from the outside foundation evaporates. Here's a good look at mold growing on the surface of these joists. It's a different type than what we just looked at. Same type of thing here around these foundation penetrations. There's some stuff growing on some of the pipes, not all that unusual. There's some more efflorescence in the corner here. You can see from the staining on the plastic that there's been water standing along this wall. Coming back around this side, some wet blocks, and towards the front of the house, fallen insulation, which is very common with excessive moisture in a crawl space. The insulation actually absorbs the moisture, gets heavy, and drops. And here's evidence of moisture on this front foundation wall. Very light fungal growth here, pretty heavy fungal growth right there on that joist. Those are foundation vents that actually allow the foundation to breathe. I don't know if you can see it in the image, but that is clogged with debris at this point. More fallen subfloor insulation, and in the far corner there you can see more efflorescence. You can see the mold growing on this cardboard box here. Not a good thing at all. That's the reason that we want to have all organic materials such as cardboard, wood, in this case straw, suitcases, that type of thing removed from a crawl space, because it does tend to stay wet for a long period of time, and it has a higher ambient humidity relative to other areas because the ventilation is so limited in most cases. Some of the issues that lead towards foundation excessive moisture is something like this, where you see the actual turnout for the downspout is missing and the water is dumping directly onto the foundation. Always suspicious of downspouts and grade drains. This piece of black plastic here is actually a sleeve that a grade drain underneath the ground goes into. Many times those are simply disconnected or clogged. In this case you can see the white of the downspout doesn't quite make it to the collar, which is causing this erosion around here, which will also put water on a foundation. Getting suited up in professional protective equipment is an essential part of doing any crawl space remediation. So dressed from head to toe with respirators, knee pads, and a full Tyvek, which we call bunny suit, these two desperados are ready to head into the crawl space and kill some mold. Kill some mold! Kill some mold! Removing the spiders. The other hand. Every joist is hand scrub to remove all visible growth. Every joist is cleaned in sequence in a pattern to ensure that every bit of mold has been removed and you're left with a clean section of wood. You think about a home being decompressed in the interior by the heating and air system. Every time the unit kicks on, there is a void around boots up here that can allow air from the crawl space to be drawn into the interior area of the home. So the truth is that 25% of the air was estimated by Duke University to be from a crawl space or basement area. So in this case, our crawl spaces have to be kept clean and dried and free from microbial growth in order to reduce the bad air quality inside the home, or in another way of saying it, to improve the indoor air quality. What's down here ends up there. This is Bob Byrne from Volunteer Mold and Indoor Air Quality. If you have a question about your crawl space or the air in your home, give us a call at 865-385-0170. We'll work hard to give you an answer and a solution.